Welcome to the Consciousness of the Way podcast. My name is Taoist Master San Quinn, and I'm here with the delectable divine High Priestess Jade, who also happens to be my gorgeous wife. And we're here offering the podcast of a lifetime, basically integrating Taoism into basically a modern viewpoint of reality. And we are basically offering people the viewpoint of Taoists in today's society, raising 6 children, having exposure to all the ups and downs, ins and outs of the 21st century and how Taoism applies to that. And of course, you know, what we're going to do into covering the things that are so very important to us here on this channel, which is consciousness, awareness, empowerment of you as the individual. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce High Priestess Jade. Welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here. Finally, we're getting a chance to do this. It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming. And the need for this type of awareness and engagement with the rest of the world and understanding how powerful it is just to spearhead some type of faith belief system. And, you and I always integrate this whenever we come across people in our daily lives, the sharing the foundational principles of what we do, but we're not relying on that as the be-all or end-all, because we use this here as a template within the way to help people discover and define their own viewpoint, their own reality, and reinforce how powerful they are as an individual and what they can offer to the world.
Yeah, I think it's really important that people understand that they have so much of the answers, the questions we always get, what do I do about this? I'm feeling this way. I'm stuck with this problem. I'm lost in this event. What do I do? And most people get so confused when it's like, you have everything right here. You don't have to, go find it. You have it.
Right.
Let's just tweak the few little things so that they understand how to access it.
Right.
Unlock their own goodie box or tool chest or coloring crayons to realize that everything isn't black and white. They have so much more, and when you see that click with them, it's really fun, actually. It's fun to watch that change and that kind of excitement and empowerment in someone else when they're given those things.
Amen to that. Right? It's something that I've become more familiar with on our daily travels. And you and I are always aware of it, being parents of 6, 5 with one coming. Isn't that exciting, right?
It is exciting. It's exciting to share it with them too and watch them develop in it and help them develop in it and grow to, also take on our belief systems and our belief set and the power that they have within themselves. It's really magical, especially with kids, to see that happen. And every day it's a new thing at different stages that, really excites you and makes you feel alive.
That's a really good point, Jade, because we've got to get to that whole mindset, which is what we talk about here on the channel. The mindset, the consciousness is what we are seeking, what we are devouring, what we are sharing with each other on a daily basis. And so that mindset, referencing back to a childlike state, it's really the key to understanding how to unlock the, as Jade would reference, the goodie box that you have inside yourself. And that is really the key to everything when you reference, like we always talk about this, there's gurus, there's masters. They go on and on and on about the being childlike and regressing to a childlike state. And, most people get caught up in today's society being, the rat race or what they've perceived as their reality, which is really what we're talking about, is your perception of your reality, your truth as you know it, is the only truth that is important to you and your journey and your understanding how to unlock this power within you. So we reference back to the childlike state, the state that you were talking about how our children are developing their perception of their reality. And so, this childlike state goes back to the brain waves, which I briefly, touch on, and is part of how important it is to access this consciousness and be able to change the state you're in instantaneously when you access these brain waves, which raises your consciousness, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think there's definitely certain points too that where we really like to focus on, especially in the evening, right before they go to bed, especially in the morning, right when they wake up, certain routines that we have to really help them develop. And they're so porous at that point that it's like, I love getting that nighttime routine where I'm always asking them some type of an imagination question at night to really open them up and get them excited about dreaming or thinking about it, right before they go to bed. If you could, create anything you wanted, what would it be? And that just little spark just gets them perfectly ready for dream state, for theta, for falling asleep. And then, of course, in the morning, always them waking them up with an I love you, good morning, a hug, that, physical touch.
What a great observation, because again, we talk about the childlike state. And so that childlike state is understanding that you start with that seed of imagination, which is basically giving you the foundation of your creation within your day, within your evening, within your dreams. Now, your dreams can be the starting point and seed to the power that you have in your own creation, your own manifestation. So once you start developing the skills to access that brainwave, then we're talking about some real magic right there, And so they're already operating. So we referenced the childlike state. Now, let's go back to how that really is important from the guru's perspective, how, all these meditators, gurus, teachers are referencing this childlike state. The reason for this is that you shift through brain waves as you develop your brain from birth to death. You are operating in certain brain waves, and your access to them starts to diminish as you move through your life. Well, this is also just a premise. I disagree wholeheartedly that that's what takes place, because anyone can change their mindset at any point when they're given the tools. And that's what we do here at The Way. We evoke your consciousness so that you can unlock the goodie box that will give you the power to create whatever you want and synchronize yourself. So referencing the childlike state, referencing the guru, they talk about the childlike state. Okay, so it's not about John Smith going out and ripping up his PG&E bill, leaving his car in the local parking lot, taking the shirt off his back, and, taking a mindless wander to his next, enlightenment by removing himself from the material world. This is a myth, is a fallacy. You need to understand that you can have everything you desire. The spirit world does not vet you and have you go, oh no, your desire for material items is now left you with less than no access to your higher self because you want a big red ruby diamond, or you want a $5 million house, or perhaps maybe you just want to get into a bath with 20 bottles of Cristal and, $500,000 in cash. That doesn't matter to the spirit world. It doesn't matter to the metaphysical world. It doesn't matter to the universe. This is not how you obtain what it is that you want within your manifestation. Whether you want something or nothing, which in most cases, if someone wants to manifest something, it's because they want something, right?
Yeah.
So understanding that manifesting starts with synchronization. It doesn't start with your moral compass, okay? So what you think about things from your personality. Now, let's separate the two because we talk about this all the time, right? We teach people this. Understanding that you have a divine self and you have a personality self. What is the difference? The difference is quite simple. The difference is
your divine self is your pure self, you being selfless, you wanting to just do something because it's the right thing to do. You're looking at everything coherently, rationally. Your personality self is basically
some of your
life experiences, but any reaction to your emotions.
Sure.
So I'm angry, so I'm going to yell at somebody. I feel hurt, so I'm going to be vindictive or vengeful or revenge or petty or spiteful or basically anything nasty.
Right. So it's limited. It's very limited. So, understanding that divine selflessness is something that you don't have to process, right? Mm-hmm. So you're not going to sit here and be in your thoughts, because I always remind people, all thoughts of your mind are not yours. Oh, mic drop. Wow, holy moly, what does that mean? Well, just walk into a room, and I mean, the most incredible part is when you use these five senses as a human being to dictate your perception, because you're using the five senses you were born into this world with to perceive and to digest your reality. This is how you are creating your reality from your five senses. And we're going to get into this in a moment, and understanding how Jade and I use your five senses within the way to access the inner core of your unconscious and open it up so that you can be consciously aware and create and manifest at will with the right tools. We use the ancient tools. We're both generational holders of a specific sects of Taoism, 126 generation sect of Taoism. And with that, ordained priests, with that, we use these tools, and these tools are really powerful. They have been for thousands of years. They've been using them for thousands of years. And we are just crafting and refining them so that they're digestible to anybody. One of our missions, our incredible driving forces, being here today, being involved with this space of, social media as a launching pad to get our word out, to give them information to the people, is to understand that, you don't have to be subject to the Mr. Miyagi experience. You don't have to be subject to, I want you to go away and study for 40 years, come back, and I'll give you the next piece to the meaning of life. No, we're cutting all the red tape. We're destroying and demystifying this idea, because everyone should have this information. Jade and I have always made it our mission on a daily basis. First and foremost, we wake up. We're very grateful to the Tao and everything that it shares with us, and then to the people that we are interacting with on a daily basis, whether it's someone down on the supermarket, whether it's someone in a store, whether it's our neighbors. There's always a moment of giving and selflessness that will calibrate you as a human being and get you to understand how powerful you are with little to no effort, because so many people get trapped in the mindset, in the mind prison that comes with, being a human being in 2023.
Yeah.
You are limited because you are trapped in your 9 to 5, your 7-day-a-week struggle. And these are words that we come across commonly. Now, we're going to get deeper as we continue with these podcasts and discovery, integrating everything that we do. Understanding linguistics is such a powerful register for you to instantly become psychic, and also to understand that people are giving you all the information they need for you to know everything about them in just listening to a few sentences coming out of their mouth.
And you're also giving yourself the limitations or the expansion of what's going on inside you as well.
On an unconscious level.
On an unconscious level. And just changing a few little things instantly can have an effect on your conscious by removing words or adding words or speaking a certain way. It's powerful to know whether it's yourself or someone else.
And what does that mean? It means that, as this is the driving force of everything that I know, as a Taoist master, a Taoist priest, everything is energy, frequency, vibration. And so there is no exception to the rule. You want to lean on something a little bit more science-based, go and check out the guy with the overgrown mustache. What's his name? Oh, Albert Einstein. Yeah. Creating the foundation, having the evolutionary mindset to be able to craft out and connect the dots and hand us a quantum model that really most of the world operates on. I mean, you could separate it. It really is simple. Right. What do I always remind people of? The truth is only what you believe.
Right.
And that's the most important truth. It's whatever she believes, what I believe. As an individual, my truth is the only operating system I need to work on. Mm-hmm. As yourself, as John Smith, as Roger Moore, as Sarah Mary Lou down the street is going to have a perception. And it's not for us to take that away from somebody by saying that, no, how I think is right, how you think is wrong. It's about crafting your reality and molding it so it's really powerful and enhanced. And that's what we do. We take the template that we're taught with these ancient tools that have been handed down from generation to generation for thousands of years, and we've encompassed that and encapsulated that into a digital formula so that anyone can use it. Anyone can become the guru. Anyone can become the sage. Anyone that can become the master of all mindsets when you're given the tools to access it for yourself. Because what do I remind you of is that the truth is
only what you believe. And it's different for every person. So if someone would say, my goal is I want to live the freest life possible. Mm-hmm. My version or definition of the freest life possible might be spending every second with my kids and my husband. Someone else's might be, their truth might be, my life is freest by swimming in every ocean in the world. Mm-hmm. And both of them are right. And that's their definition of freedom. That's their truth. That's their empowerment. And mine is, a different version, but still. So all of this material adapts to the individual, adapts to whatever their idea. When you say create your reality and give people the tools for that, my reality, again, might be spending all my time with my family, whereas someone else's reality might be traveling or building a $1 billion business or and each person gets to experience that and realize that excitement and that knowing to be able to create that, whatever their imagination is looking to create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that really comes back to what I preferenced, a few moments ago, which is understanding that your highest level of consciousness is not measured by this limitation of the realm of man,
Right.
which comes from, your moral compass. Now, I'm not suggesting that your moral compass is the determining factor. We're breaking it down quite simply, right? So to understand how to synchronize with the quantum, you must realize that you must be in flow. This is what we share with people, hundreds, thousands of people all over the world for years, is understanding that the flow is how you access the quantum. When you access the quantum, your wildest imagination or dreams come true instantly. Right. And so when you are moving in and out, I mean, this is something that has been discussed and measured for many years, is understand that we are constantly in and out of the quantum, second by second basis. And a lot of that is driven by what your belief is, what you know to be true, where you are right now in your own mindset, and what the Way does, what Jade and I do, is create this powerful synergy. So you're synchronizing, right? So when we open up those energy centers as Taoists, there are other religious or philosophy-based systems, right, where they work on the energy centers. Everything is interconnected, as we've explained within the quantum.
Everything is energy.
Everything is energy. So you have to open the energy centers up to get that flow that we speak on, with flow within the Tao, flow within your reality, flow within your life. So opening up those 9 energy centers, the first 9 energy centers that you open up through the Way, it gives you this baseline. So as we have gone through our journey for many years, decades, personally myself, over 3 decades, we have to realize that one of the first things that you do to get what you want in your life is master your emotions. And what we have demystified is this idea that it is an ongoing, hidden, secret source, most difficult hurdle to get over, because again, whatever word you're using to describe your reality is how you perceive things and how things are coming through on an unconscious level, right?
Right.
So when you tell yourself that it's difficult,
or it's work, I have to work at it.
This will be work, and it will be difficult. Remember, your words create your reality, right? So we pressed on that. We spoke on that earlier, that your linguistics are framing out things on your unconscious level that are determining for the rest of the world. And the rest of the world is hearing what you're really saying, right? It's almost like the old expression, actions speak louder than words, right?
It's like when someone, always the question, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you. How are you?" And you get some people, "Oh, I'm great. Everything's amazing." And then you get some people, "Oh, I'm good. I'm fine."
Right.
It's like,
right.
well, what's wrong? Nothing.
Right.
But it's like they're still saying, there's a difference between saying like, "Oh, I'm good, I'm great," and someone saying, "I'm good.
Right.
I'm great."
Right. They're emoting things.
Exactly.
Right. They're emoting things. So you're sort of like saying, it's like the old expression, "Do as I say, not as I do." Mm-hmm. Right. And we hear this all the time, right? So you've got this person that's emoting an emotion. So we get back to the 5 senses, because this is really powerful stuff, right? So this is part of energizing the energy centers, the first 9, which gives you the baseline of the first thing you need to do is master. Here, mic drop. Are you ready, guys? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your emotions do not control you. You control your emotions. Bingo. Holy moly. Stop the presses. I know you guys are going to put it on pause and go, what in the heck is this guy talking about? I have my emotions control me all day long.
Right.
Everything that I do is dictated by how I feel, and how I feel is determined by how I think. How I think is determined by my environment. So now we're getting into some more mechanisms that are so critical to your reality and accessing the quantum. And so now we're talking about the things that are fundamental, right? So we're talking about the energy centers. Yeah?
Right.
So the energy centers, the first 9 between the earth and the universe, synchronizing you, the individual, the empowered mofo, the person that can create their reality any way they want. That's right. Any way they want, if they're just given this little key. And that's the key that we hand to everybody. And we do it in a selfless manner because we want you to experience the most incredible life that you could possibly create in your imagination and transmute that into your reality right here, right now. Hallelujah. Can I have a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Right? Because everyone should experience it. That no one should be absent of the power that they have within themselves, right? So we have the 9 energy centers. They're being activated by the way, this digital experience that we've created, taking all these ancient practices and putting them, encapsulating them in an experience. And we're now evoking, let's talk about this, the 5 senses that you as a human being use to register and perceive your reality, right? So we have these 5 senses. They are hearing, seeing, feeling, smelling, and tasting, right? So, what's really popular is understanding that, have you ever heard the expression, I can smell the fear?
Yeah.
Right? And if you want to observe masters of their emotions to a degree, because in most cases, elite athletes, MMA fighters, boxers, wrestlers, they're really good at switching off their emotions and honing in and smelling the deficiency in their opponent and then preying on it, devouring it, destroying it. And so the expression, I can smell the fear, is not an expression. In actuality, that is one of the senses that you have, smell. And study after study after study after study. Let's reference science, but I'm going to tell you, I don't come from the world of science. I use science to help people understand how these things that I teach people become reality, because it's so profound to witness a miracle that they believe is not possible in their own mind, that I have to give them foundational understanding. And it's very kind for the scientific world, thank you scientific world, to come out here and decode stuff that is ancient in of itself, ancient in its offering, has been around for thousands of years. But guess what? I'm really excited now that all of a sudden we can validate it with science, which in my opinion is just another way to decode what's in front of you. So great. Is science the be all or end all? Absolutely not. It's just another language that you use to frame something so that you can understand it. So in certain circumstances, I work with so many different people, doctors of Chinese medicine, doctors of chiropractor, doctors of functional medicine, chiropractors, acupuncturists, herbologists, medical doctors. They have a framework. It doesn't work. So what do we come back to? The basics, right? So what are the basics? What's the most powerful healing tool to date? Energy, baby. Energy. Because all these people will be stumped and limited by their perception. And so they get to a certain place, they think they've got this solution, and then it ends. And then they're like, Sifu, San Quinn, help me. Well, absolutely. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to open you up to realizing anything is possible. And the most important thing is all the healing comes from within you.
Right.
But
I think it's really powerful when you talk about the senses and especially energy as well. They have these restaurants where it's like pitch black or you can't see, but so they take this sense away that then intensifies your taste, or is supposed to intensify your taste, because, you know, you can't maybe necessarily visually see it. And I assume intensifies your smell as well. And it's like most people have some form of deficiency with their five senses. You know, their sight, you know, they might be able to see much better than they hear, or feel something. They can understand it much better than they can hear someone talk about it or see it. And it's like, I think that's also
Great point.
Yeah, really powerful.
That's a great reference, Jade. Let's talk about those five senses. You know, you brought up a great talking point. Well done. Listen, you know, we go back and forth being husband and wife, you know, having 5 kids, being together all day, every day. We experience something that most people don't, which is, in my opinion, my manifestation, my reality, the ultimate.
And mine.
And yours, well, is being able to share my second by second, minute by minute experience with my wife and my children, and living the most enriched, empowered life that we can live. That is our manifestation. And so, you know, we finish sentences, we talk about things that we already know because we understand things on a much deeper layer. And, you know, we can get deeper into clear senses and helping people understand how to do that. At some point, we will be offering that type of stuff. At this point, let's talk about those 5 senses that you were talking about. So, you know, you have seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling, okay? So what Jade is referencing is the fact that most people have a deficient in one and excess in the other, okay? Right. And so this is where you get this really altered state of reality where you could be in the same room with 5 other people and see exactly the same thing, but there are 5 different versions of the same experience, and you could you could record it and play a video back, and everyone's like, no, I saw it this way, I heard it that way, I tasted it this way, I smell it this way, I feel it this way. Now, that's because of the excess or deficiency that they were born into this world with. Their senses were deregulated. They weren't regulated because there's deficient and excess. That gives them their perception of their reality, right? And so this is a very powerful talking point that we use, that what the Way does, the digital offering that we've created, is it balances your 5 senses out. And so that way that everything is received the same way. So when you're looking at something, you get a 360-degree view, not a narrow 45-degree view, which most people have because they're either excess or deficient in their senses. So this is part of development, is equalizing those senses so that you get the most profound perception of your reality. Right?
Because most people, you know, and people talk about it constantly. I'm a visual learner, or I'm a kinesthetic learner, or I love hearing. I have to hear it, 5 times and then I get it. It clicks. And the Way incorporates all 3 of these really powerful tools, the audio, the visual, the kinesthetic, so that each user, regardless of, whether you think you're visual or audible, all end up being 100% in each of them and strengthen those senses.
And which also raises up the smell and the taste, right?
Right. Well, smell and taste, we get to in supple and going over more nutrition and those, and how to really amplify those senses as well. Coming soon. Right.
But these in
the 126 experience, it's so powerful for that. And a lot of users who have used the app, all of a sudden come to this realization like, oh, I didn't realize my communication was so bad, or I wasn't hearing you, or I wasn't, I can't believe I walk past my, kitchen table every single day, and where did this face come from? And it's always been there,
right? But
it's like all of a sudden you're going from, your perspective being the size of a dime to your perspective being
The size of the world.
the size of the world, or what's really taken place. You're
Right.
really stepping back and seeing, hearing, and feeling all of these things that have been there that you just haven't been able to experience
Right.
yet.
Yeah, so we talk back on the fighters' instinctual, intuitive ability to read people. They've got this psychic sense they're not even aware of. It's just a natural register that they have. They can feel, smell, and see the fear of their opponent. And when you can do that, you can pretty much do about anything. Now, you reference this point of the registering and regulating of these senses, which
Right.
is so powerful. Understanding that once you get that, this is part of synchronizing, right? So we went back to the 9 energy centers, which in other philosophies or training systems, you would call them chakras. They're very popular, very sexy. The chakra, we don't refer to them that in Taoism, but we, more generalization, an energy center, right? So we have 9, the first 9, you acquire and conquer that skill. Anyone can do it. Everyone will do it. Everyone will obtain the same skill, and they will develop that ability to change the state they're in within 126 seconds. Now, that's the first baseline for anyone, as we are, been training in this space for decades in energetics, frequency, vibration, and these are the basic tools that everyone gets when they're starting out within Taoism training as an ordained priest. Is you must master your emotions. That's the first thing, and it's really. It seems like a hurdle or something that's an impossibility, but actually it's infantile in of itself. And once you get there, guys, that's when the magic starts, right? So,
and it's when you say master your emotions, it's not like if I walk in my son's room and I step on a Lego. Obviously, that's going to hurt. Most people have stepped on a toy or a Lego, and it's painful. And am I not going to feel that pain anymore? Not necessarily, but I don't have to hold on to that anger or that resentment because he didn't clean his room, and have that ripple throughout my whole day, where then I lock my keys in my car, and then I get a speeding ticket on the way there. And it just has this continual effect of like that one event and me feeding into that emotion and, constantly going, oh, I stepped on a Lego. I'm going to have a bad day today. And,
right. You're just speaking on it.
I'm
right?
so upset, where it's like, I still step on the Lego. I still go, oh man, and I say, hey, you should probably clean your room.
But that awareness,
right.
That awareness is
right.
All of a sudden, when you empower yourself to realize that your emotions don't control you, you control your emotions. Imagine and visualize this, guys. You are standing in front of a conveyor belt, and your emotions are passing you by, and you get to pick and choose which ones that you want to use or
right.
don't use, because they are nothing more than tools in a toolbox. So when you are doing, as Jade said, stepping on the Lego, and you want to ripple it into consuming yourself with your personality, blaming your son and everything around you, place, person, or thing,
right.
as to why you feel the way you do, and not realizing that it comes from within you. Right. And that coming from within you is where you get to decide what you want to do with it. And so when you are able to master that skill, and you do that from absorbing the visual and audible material, evoking the kinesthetic response that comes from the Way126 experience, you develop the skill on a daily basis, and it builds on itself. It gets stronger and stronger. This skill doesn't disappear. Once you have acquired this skill, you have it. It's yours for life. You have created it. You've developed it. No two experiences within the Way126 are the same. They're unique, and they're unique to you because the material morphs to your individual experience. That's
right.
what makes it so powerful. It works with your unconscious to bring things to the forefront of consciousness, which is how you do the whole, we talk about, out of 100% you're operating all day long, how much of it is conscious and unconscious?
Yeah, 5% to 95%.
Right. So generally speaking, I mean, it can be argued back and forth. You may have scientists question this validity, but the truth is, it's quite commonly known that you work 5% consciously, 95% unconsciously until you make the difference. You are the one who makes the difference. Because remember, you only know what you know,
right? And
you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So, I'm making that awareness, making that incredible, critical sensitivity, because that's what we do with our practices and training people, is shifting their consciousness, and it's
and
awareness
your consciousness is very much like your perspective too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that 5% could be this small and your consciousness is this big.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the more you do this, the more you do the training system, the more you do the program, it starts opening and opening and opening and opening to where you aren't living in the movie, you're directing the movie.
Yeah.
You're not, or I shouldn't say living, you're not watching the movie, you're directing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I stepped on the Lego. Hey, you know what? I don't have to let that ruin my day. I don't have to have a bad day today. I don't have to let that ripple into other things. I can, go, oh, okay. And I can move on and I can choose to, find $100 while I'm walking to the store and meet a best friend who I haven't seen in a long time, or,
And all these things become your realization, your reality as quickly as you think them.
Right.
When you are trained in the skill set, and the skill set develops new synapses in your brain. So if you want to understand how that takes place, it's quite simple. The second you're exposed to the material, you develop a synapsis in your brain, which is the information energy highway within your learning system. And that is exposed to anything. Your senses create these interactive systems within your brain. And the more you do it, the more powerful you become. The sensory experience, the kinesthetic experience gets stronger day by day, which makes it so much easier for you to shift into your consciousness using your intention. And you just click your fingers and you go from angry to happy at the flip of a switch, a toggle that you have generated, that you've created. But, it's like anything, there's a system to it, and that's why we're using these ancient tools that go way beyond the concept or idea or understanding of science. We're talking about thousands of years old, and now it's offered to you, and it's available to you, and you only can master yourself, starting with the baseline. And then, of course, you can experience and take that off and, use it to conquer and master your life and have whatever incredible experience you want within your reality. Right. And that is the driving force for Jade and I, is giving these seeds to you so that you can go out and master whatever it is that you want, create whatever it is, create the reality that you want, however you want. And it's not measured by moral compass. Understand that. So everything is an energy, frequency, vibration. A lot of people talk about, how do you get to the quantum? How do you manifest? Well, first you create coherence. And so that coherence has been measured for the last, at least 30 years. There are several different places that you can get these types of things measured. But let's just say you can go one of two sides of a coin. You can be incoherent, you can be coherent. When you're coherent, you synchronize with the universe, you're activating your brain, your heart, and your gut. This is creating the flow that we talk about within Taoism. That flow gives you the ability to hook up to that quantum field and create miracles at will. Things that you would technically believe were not possible, but with your intention and your ability to synchronize. And what we do is create awareness within the electromagnetic field that is running in, through, and around and out from your body, which everything is energy. Without it, you would be dead. That sensitivity makes you far more aware, and you go deeper and deeper into training. Let's start off with the baseline. You master your emotions. That's the infantile baseline system. And then you can go off into all different things. We have endless amounts of material that you can use, but we always want to offer that base one. And guess what the prerequisite is, guys? 0. You don't have to be a guru, a master, a Buddhist, a Taoist, a Christian, believe in Judaism. None of that is relevant. Your faith is your faith and yours only. What you believe in is the only truth. You just use this system to access the inner tools, and then you enhance your own experience. You enhance your own belief system. You enhance your own faith. That's what's so powerful about this. This is what's so exciting. So it's not about having a certain belief system. It's about having the ability to give you the tools to enhance your belief system. And that's what the Way does. That's what we do. And we teach people that so that it doesn't matter which way you want to think. Whether you want to think the sun is orange or the sun is green or the sun is red, that's for you to decide. But we want you to be able to manifest this magic within you, and that just comes from a system. And you access these energy points that connect you with the earth and the universe that then give you the ability to synchronize and access the quantum and create magical things from a manifestation point that are instantaneous. So
the Way is so powerful because we've designed it in a way that's so easy. I feel like meditation and different apps out there that give you these wide categories and libraries of stuff are like reading IKEA instructions. They're so confusing. You have no idea what to do. You have no idea if you're doing it right. You set it up the wrong way, realize you have to go all the way back and do it again. Whereas the Way is completely designed for the individual, that you just press play, sit there, watch and listen and feel. That's it.
Bingo.
And how you watch or how you listen or how you feel is perfect for you. Whether you close your eyes and just listen, whether you watch and don't hear it as much, whether you just feel all of it all the time, it's perfect for you. It is the easiest way to tap in and start rewiring these synapses, creating new synapses. And it works on everyone. That's the way it's designed. Right. It is designed for the individual, whether you have never, ever even sat still and closed your eyes and felt anything in your life, or whether you have meditated in the mountains for 20 years. It works exactly the same on each person so that they will get the most out of it and transform. And within the first session, you will transform in the sense that at least you will feel probably the most relaxed.
Well, the first side effect is the kinesthetic response. That's the register. That's your register to know it's real. That is real to you, and you understand that because all of a sudden, how in Tao's name are you possible? Is it possible for you to feel like you're a cup of butter poured into a bakery dish? That's what takes place with this stuff, and that's how you solidify it as real. So, with all this as a baseline, understanding Jade and I are here to open up your consciousness, give you the most enriched, empowered experience that you can have as a human being. And we can go deeper into that, but I like to reference you as an eternal, immortal, having a human being experience. We'll take that one home and digest that one. But in any case, we start this off by giving you this offering. Our gift is our offering, right? Which is the Consciousness Way podcast. And Jade and I are so excited to start entering and sending off this information into the world as Taoists, as plant-based eaters, as people that perceive things in a way that perhaps maybe you aren't conventionally aware of. And that's why we want to give you this information so you can share it and enrich your life any way you want to.
Right.
As parents, that's right. this handsome devil here has children. That's right. And, my beautiful wife is always here to share her insight, not just as a priest, but also giving a much deeper understanding about that feminine yin energy that incorporates into everything that is, right? So from a Taoist perspective, we tap into the yin energy as a high level of intuition and understanding of things. And that can be determined in many different layers, and it's representative in many different layers. And that's what we talk about when we talk about duality, right? And it's always a starting point. Duality is a starting point. The evolution of Taoism is to take duality and then to emerge it as one. And when you merge it as one, all of a sudden, magical things start to take place. But there's a progression. You're just like within the way, we are progressively moving you through. We don't want to burn, this energy body, because we always reference things in energy, okay? So we have a spirit body, an energy body, and a physical body. These are the three bodies that we generally operate in. And the spirit body, the highest level of consciousness, energy body, which incorporates, mental, emotional state, and physical body is the transmuted, catalyst for all your mental, emotional experiences that have merged or materialized into whatever manifestation you have created. So we always reference and understand that all your emotions and thoughts are stored within your physical body, and they translate into a manifestation of your making, your creation. Remember, so we love to talk about epigenetics here. And let me tell you, we'll get deep into that. But fundamentally, as Taoists, we talk about quantum physics, epigenetics, and we incorporate most powerful ancient tools like Nigong, moving energy with your mind, Qigong, moving energy with your breath, and proprietary 11 herbs and spices that are more sacred within the Taoist practices that we've integrated in every image, every letter, every word, every sound that we share with everybody, that evokes this incredible access point that everyone has the ability to access, that they own, that they have within them. They just need the tools. It's just like, that journey, that Mr. Miyagi journey, only we are going to have you minus of sanding the floors and waxing the cars and doing all the miserable, mundane, horrible things like standing in horse stance for 47 days to find enlightenment or a back pain, one of the two. That is what happens. We're demystifying that. We're bypassing that. All you need to do is show up, and you will receive the information that is going to enrich your life. And so, as Taoists, as plant-based eaters, as people that just are embracing and in love with humanity and wanting to get the best out of you as an individual and also as a collective of the world, Jade and I are so excited to bring this stuff to the rest of the world, so that we don't just affect thousands, we affect millions of people in awakening and realizing how powerful they are. And so when they get that together, you're going to have the most magical mystery ride. And, straight from the words of the Beatles, which I'm really not a big fan of, but hey, I'm referencing that because
they're going to say Willy Wonka.
Well, Willy Wonka kind of, but the Beatles is, the magical mystery. Yeah. Anyway, so this was absolutely enlightening and exciting to be able to just start a spark and get that information out there with my incredible host, Jade. And we're putting out the stuff that everyone wants to hear about. We want to tackle all sort of things that you would consider obstacles, limitations, things that are controlling and limiting your life. And you're going to get the perspective of Jade and all the yin energy she brings into the space, from a mother, from a woman, from a perspective of someone that has a greater insight into consciousness, and of course myself, Taoist Master San Quinn, in my decades of experience working with energy, frequency, vibration, evoking your consciousness and bringing it to the forefront so that you are the baddest badass that you can ever imagine, and take your life and mold it, shape it, create it,
Yeah.
and do whatever you want to do. And it's just about being aware, and that's what we do here. So I would just like to thank you, Jade, for
Yes, thank you.
being my
And
host.
leave comments on other topics that obviously we're going to stay in the energy realm, and lots of Taoist teachings, how we incorporate it into our modern family. But please leave your comments down below of stuff that you'd like to talk about or have us talk about, and give some more insight into how we do it, and how it works for us, and how we can help you create the most magical, mystical experience.
Well, you know, I mean,
It's so powerful. And
Right.
it is. And just that idea of hope that I feel like so many people nowadays have really lost sight of, whether it's faith-based or whether it's just humanity-based. It's there and it exists, and there are amazing people who just want to help and see you succeed and see you excel and empower you. And it's a beautiful thing to see, especially in 2023 with the kind of constant chaos and negativity that's being pushed on you daily, by minute by minute. You know, this is a definitely a space of hope and joy and happiness and excitement and empowerment to share with others. And, you know, please share it with others who need to hear it, because it's helping someone else is one of the best gifts that you can do and that you can have and that you can share with other people. And I'm so grateful that we get to do it by just offering our experience and our knowledge and our information, and of course our app that is really going to help so many people.
Well, millions.
Yeah.
So with that said, I want to thank you for your time and sharing it with us, hearing what we have to say, and hopefully enlightening and engaging, creating a spark within your life that gives you the wildfire, the magical mystery that you are looking for, because we will help you become aware of it. It's just only a matter of time, my friends. That's all you got to do is start right here. So I want to thank you. I'm your Taoist master, San Quinn, your humble servant and Sifu, and you have the beautiful divine high priestess Jade here as my co-host, and we will be back for another installment of enlightenment with the Consciousness of the Way podcast. And enjoy and make this the most magical experience right here, right now.